up? What's going on, everybody? GZTV, real quickly before I settle down for bed here, we have some NBA to talk about. Well, actually, I'm probably not going to go to bed right away. I'll probably watch a little bit of episode 7 of Squid Game just so I have a head start for that. But we are here to talk Monday, February 3rd. There were actually a lot of good basketball games. We're going to talk Hawks, Pistons, Rockets, Knicks, Kings, Timberwolves. We're going to talk Pacers, Jazz, Magic, Warriors, Suns, Trailblazers, all sorts of really good NBA games on today. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. Honestly, the main event to start the night is the Hawks and the Pistons. Trae Young's fadeaway with 1.6 seconds left lifts the Hawks to a slump-busting 2-point win over the Pistons. Trae Young made a 23-foot fadeaway with 1.6 seconds left and had an insane fourth quarter, insane scoring night. And this comes after getting snubbed from the All-Star, obviously, which is a huge headline surrounding the Hawks. Yeah, I don't understand why they keep making the same mistake with Trae Young. I mean, the dude is an all-star, bona fide. He is top 10 in scoring and passing every year he's been in the league, damn near. Maybe not his rookie year, but yeah, they get the win. Trae Young steps over the defender, continuing to kind of be that villainous character in the league. I love watching it. Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren made it tough for them, obviously. 3 dunks in 3 minutes. They were just connecting with each other. Those two have great chemistry. And this Pistons team is tough. They're going to be really good going forward. Really good game here, though. I mean, Oscar Thompson's always going to be athletic and jump over defenders. Ron Holland II, a young guy that can hit some tough shots. They have a lot of potential. That's a really good Pistons team. This is a really good game. Obviously, you look at the Hawks. 20 points for DeAndre Hunter off of 50% shooting. You get 34 points for Trae Young off of 50% three-point shooting. Keep doubting him. Keep saying he's not an all-star and he's going to come out and play like this. Larry Nance Jr., great minutes off the bench, 12 points, 10 rebounds. He shot 50% from 3, too. And we're going to look at the Pistons. Obviously, Tobias Harris, a pretty solid performance for him at 22 points. You get 30 points and 14 assists for Cade Cunningham. Hell of a game. I don't know, man. Tim Hardaway Jr., I'm not sure if he should really start on this team. I know he's a good player and he's a veteran and he's had a really good past and coming at runnings with the league. I don't know. They have guys like Isaiah Stewart. They have guys like Malik Beasley off the bench. Maybe give one of those guys a shot. I know this was a close game, but you expect Tim Hardaway, you expect Tim Hardaway Jr. to at least score in the double digits. Anyways, that's kind of the reason they lost, I think. My face is so greasy. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, boys. Let's get into the Rockets and the Knicks, though. Jalen Brunson has 42 points and 10 assists. He rallies the Knicks past the Rockets. They win by 6. Obviously, a very tough game on the schedule for the Knicks. These are the type of teams you're going to see in the playoffs. Obviously, they're on different sides of the conferences and stuff, but you know what I mean. Jalen Brunson, great scoring, great passing. The fact that he can do those both at the same time, breaking a tie with Carmelo Anthony for 3rd on the franchise list with his 18th 40-point game with the Knicks. This man has already had almost 20 40-point games with the Knicks. That is fucking incredible. And already the same amount that Carmelo Anthony did in his entire tenure. That just doesn't get talked about enough. This guy is a beast. What an acquisition for the Knicks. Now, obviously, it hasn't translated to winning basketball just yet, but holy shit, a huge win. Yeah, late threes after late threes, Jalen Brunson knows how to be a crowd pleaser, knows how to get the momentum on their side, and he did just that. Yeah, Amin Thompson, great sequences, great plays, putting the moves on defenders, throwing it down on people. Really good game. 2 dope teams, again, but it was just Jalen Brunson and Amin Thompson, I feel like, all night, dunking, shooting threes. Those two were going at it. That was Amin Thompson, dude. He might have to win Most Improved for me. I know you usually don't. It's kind of taboo in the NBA to give Most Improved to second-year players. But, dude, 25 points, 11 assists, 11 rebounds. You obviously get a 21-point performance for Jalen Green. Not having Alperen Şengün in a game like this definitely kills them because you have Jae'Sean Tate in the starting lineup. Now, obviously, they have Cam Whitmore, Steven Adams, Aaron Holiday. They have pretty good bench players out there, but Jae'Sean Tate, I don't think Jae'Sean Tate should even be in the starting lineup with who they have available. Strange activity. But again, shout out to Amin Thompson. Despite a loss, still played really well. You look at the Knicks, just such a consistent squad. 22 points out of Mikal Bridges. He shot 50%. 22 points out of Cat. 42 points, 10 assists for Jalen Brunson while shooting over 50%. I mean, that trio there, they don't even have OG Anunoby in the damn game. And I didn't even talk about Josh Hart either. I mean, holy shit, this is a great team. I'm not going to go as far as saying a championship caliber team, but holy cow, they can get a job done. As we move on to the Kings and the Timberwolves, after dealing De'Aaron Fox, the Kings eke out a 2-point road win over the Timberwolves. I mean, that gives them kind of hope for their future. I would say the Kings are having a good season, but we're going to see, maybe not as good as they want to, but we're going to see how the tides turn once they bring in Zach LaVine, because he's set to play on Wednesday. I'm going to be very interested in that. Obviously, DeMar DeRozan's going to have to lead the charge for a while. I mean, great scoring. He did just that in this game. Obviously, they finalized that trade again. They got Zach LaVine. Only time will tell how that works out. But yeah, man, DeMar DeRozan just getting in the clutch. And that's what a playoff team, a playoff caliber team that's been there before needs. And obviously that's why they picked up DeMar DeRozan. Now, picking up Zach LaVine and pairing him up with DeMar DeRozan, again, how is that going to work? I don't really know. It didn't work out in the Bulls, but then again, that wasn't a playoff caliber team. They have the pieces around them. They have a dominant big man in Sabonis, who unfortunately is better than Vucevic. You have Malik Monk, who is better than Kobe White, in my opinion. You have Keegan Murray, who's better than a guy like, say, Patrick Williams. You have Keon Ellis. You have all sorts of these guys. But there you go. I mean, Rudy Gobert was making it tough using his length, getting to the rim. Fun game here. You know, Mike Conley was hitting threes. Yeah, man, Rudy Gobert is such a great at-the-rim defender. Honestly, both offensively and defensively. He's always going to make it tough. You look at the Kings, though, 14 points, 11 rebounds for Domantas Sabonis, 33 points for DeMar DeRozan off of 50% three-point shooting, and he also shot 56% overall. You get a 26-point performance from Malik Monk off of 33% three-point shooting. It's kind of looking at the Timberwolves. Where did they go wrong? I mean, 22 points for Jaden McDaniels, 19 points, 13 rebounds for Rudy Gobert, 30 points for Naz Reid, 21 points for Anthony Edwards, who shot 30% from three. But, man, just having Mike Conley in your starting lineup, I don't really know. I think they need to start enlisting young guys like maybe Jalen Clark and try to have him start, because Mike Conley is too far in his career, I've said this before, to be a starter in the NBA. I've always had my complaints about him, and it rings true every time they lose games. He's just a lackluster point guard to have starting. Again, veteran presence. He can help guys out. I get that, but I don't know. It can only get you so far. We're going to skip a couple of games ahead and talk about the last three games of the night. Let's talk about Pacers Jazz. This isn't a game I usually get because we're talking about the Pacers here, which is super fucked up, obviously, because I can't watch the local games on League Pass for whatever reason. But Pascal Siakam's late surge leads Indiana to a 1-point comeback win over Utah. I mean, it's obviously concerning that this was a comeback win, but again, we are in professional sports. Sorry if I'm talking a little quiet. Let me move the mic closer to my mouth. A win is a win in professional sports nonetheless. I mean, obviously a great fourth quarter for Pascal Siakam and overall a solid scoring night in general. I know he definitely didn't deserve the All-Star selection, and that's what a lot of people are talking about when it comes to the Pacers nowadays. But he's consistent. I mean, I'm not sure if consistency necessarily warrants an all-star selection, but he is consistent, and he's done a pretty solid job here for this Pacers squad, leading them to the conference finals last year or being a supporting piece in that. So there you go. This is their fourth straight win. You know, Pascal Siakam getting down there, getting some dunks in. You know, obviously guys like Keontae George on the other side making it tough from range. Really fun game. Obviously Tyrese Haliburton was hitting some timely shots throughout the game. Thomas Bryant hit some tough shots. That's a pretty awesome acquisition that the Pacers have had over the last couple of years too. You look at the Pacers, I mean, yeah, it really was the Pascal Siakam show. I mean, 22 points is really all they needed to win the game. Overall, it was just a balanced offensive game. Besides that, I wish Tyrese played a little bit better. I would have locked him in on my fantasy. But moving on to the Jazz, I mean, John Collins, 21 points, 12 rebounds. He shot 50%, 11 points, 10 assists for Isaiah Collier. 21 points off the bench for Jordan Clarkson. You even get 16 points and 11 assists for Keontae George. They have a lot of pieces around them. They're just going to need to figure it out. I think a major thing is Colin Sexton going out with an injury this game. I feel like they would have won. Now, obviously, they have Kyle Filipowski, Bryce Sensabaugh, Micah Potter, Jordan Clarkson, Keontae George. They have a decent bench squad. They did just get rid of Drew Eubanks, I believe, though. I don't really know, actually. But they did get rid of Drew Eubanks, right? I don't even know actually, but yeah, obviously if Colin Sexton wouldn't have got injured in this game, I think it would have been a completely different ball game, but that kind of happened. So there you go. Let's move on to the Magic and the Warriors. Dope win for the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors, again, just find ways to win games. Andrew Wiggins scores 25. Steph Curry adds 24. The Warriors battle back. They beat the Magic by 5. Again, Andrew Wiggins and Steph Curry for the last couple of years have been pretty solid complementary pieces in terms of scoring, and they help get the job done. You know, even guys like Buddy Hield getting down and getting some tough shots to fall. Really fun game here. You know, Cole Anthony hit some threes and was making it tough. You know, Franz Wagner is going to be a tough offensive player to beat. But yeah, man, Steph Curry being Steph Curry, hitting three-point shots when they need it. He didn't shoot the best, but he made shots when it mattered. You look at the Magic, I mean, Franz Wagner, 21 points. You get 26 points off the bench for Cole Anthony, who shot 33% from three. Why are they starting Anthony Black? I get it, he's a young guy. They're trying to give him minutes, but why would you start him over guys like Gary Harris or Cole Anthony, who have established themselves in the league? Hell, they could even go big man and go Wendell Carter Jr. in the fucking starting lineup. I don't know. I don't hate Anthony Black. I think he still has a lot of potential in the league, but to start him over some of the guys I just mentioned, I'm not really sure about that. You look at the Warriors, I mean, 25 points for Andrew Wiggins off of 50% shooting, 24 points for Steph, and again, that's really all they needed. Those two just being great complementary pieces for each other. They're a good team. I think the Warriors can do something, especially if they, you know, obviously the whole thing with the trade deadlines going around where they're being super desperate and looking for star players, but if they can land something, they might. I don't think they're going to win a championship, but they can maybe make a second-round push at least to the playoffs. As we get into the Suns and the Trailblazers, I don't know what's been going on. The Trailblazers have been playing really good basketball recently. I compare that to what I talked about with like the Raptors last night. Like, this is a team that's trying to get a win streak going and maybe try to get into the play-in at some point in the season. That'd be sick to see this team do that. But DeAndre Ayton helps the Trailblazers beat the Suns by 2. This is their 4th straight win. What a fucking game for DeAndre Ayton against his former team. I mean, amazing scoring, amazing rebounding, very underrated player in the league. Now, he can get inconsistent. We've talked about that a few times on the channel, but wow. Overtime, tough win. Holy cow. Obviously, shout out to Devin Booker. Congratulations for becoming the Suns' all-time scoring leader. Now, when I was watching the game and I heard the commentator say that, I was like, already? The guy's been in the league for 8 or 9 years, and he's already their leading scorer. I think that's kind of insane. But anyways, good game here. You know, Royce O'Neal was hitting some clutch shots and making it tough for the Trailblazers to close out games. Man, Jeremy Grant, not a great game for him, but he was getting up for some dunks. He was having some nasty finishes around the rim. Bradley Beal was using his athleticism for the Suns. Pretty fun game, pretty energetic game overall. Obviously, you get 27 points for KD. You get 34 points for Devin Booker in the night he, again, took the lead for the franchise record. Franchise leading scorer. He shot 50%. You get 25 off the bench for Bradley Beal. I don't really know here. I mean, you have guys like Ryan Dunn. You have guys like Trae Jones and Tyus Jones in the starting lineup. It doesn't make sense. You have Royce O'Neal, Mason Plumlee, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen on the bench, and you're starting Ryan Dunn and Tyus Jones. In terms of a rotation, that doesn't make sense. Now, obviously, they made the rotational kind of adjustments throughout the game. I couldn't find the word there, but I don't really understand why they would even start those guys in the first place. Anyways, looking at the Trailblazers, I mean, 24 points for Deni Avdija. Great game for him. He shot 50% from 3, 67% overall, 25 points and 20 rebounds for DeAndre Ayton. Phenomenal game. Anthony Simons, 13 points, 10 assists. So those three kind of get it done for their squad. Good game for the Trailblazers. I think they have a really good future. If they're not going to win this year, they have a really good future in the league. So there you have it. Looking at tomorrow's games, obviously the Celtics-Cavs, that's the huge juggernaut game. The Cavs are still eligible to tie the Warriors record, which is insane. What other games do we have? I mean, Lakers-Clippers, the TNT games are going to be really good. Those are going to be the games to look forward to. I'm really hyped for Lakers-Clippers. Obviously, no AD, so it's going to be weird seeing the Lakers kind of adjust without that. But, yeah, if there's any good games on tomorrow, I will be sure to talk about it. I'm going to probably go hoop after class, and then I'm probably going to go to our college basketball game So that'll be a lot of fun, and then I'll probably try to catch some NBA action when I get back while doing some homework and whatnot. So